whatever the hell you call it, laptop. That's it. What do I think of old believers? From what I know about it, and I don't think it's meant, the person meant to ask about old calendarists. What I know about it, the differences, instead of making a sign of the cross like this, they made the sign of the cross like this, which was incorrect to begin with, but it was just Russia, and they stuck with their ways. Is there any difference in theology? I don't know. There shouldn't be. The seeping in of things from places, saying this has always been part of orthodoxy, is it's out. That heresy, that's always what it was. That's iconoclasm. Oh, look, before all these icons were around, there must have been no icons. So, I mean, and then the archaeology, that's the argument that John Calvin made. That's the argument that Epiphanius made, except we have archaeology that goes back that shows, I mean, every iconoclast that ever exists, right? I'm not saying that the old believers are iconoclasts, but every iconoclast that ever existed at a time of high love of icons, right? And so they said this must have been added, this must have been paganized. Same thing with the adoration of Mary. Although you could just read the book of Luke, all right? Like, did it start that early? Because if it did, it's kind of in there. And then you have the allusion to, in Galatians, you yourself have seen Christ portrayed as crucified. And people argue with me over this because I think I'm the first person to actually see this. And they said, no, in writing. Because graphic can mean writing. Yeah, but with your own eyes. Not in your mind's eye or something like that. And it's always depicted or portrayed or, yeah. So things like toll houses. That's why before Seraphim Rose came along, hey, man, yeah, you can look at the Ladder of Divine Ascent, which actually is taken from something biblical, taken from Jacob's dream, Jacob's ladder, which literally is not a ladder. If you go back to the actual Hebrew, it's a ramp, which I know the ancient aliens people are going to go nuts over that one. And then these bits of this and that, which are kind of, there's metaphors and sayings, and, the floor of hell is paved skulls of bishops, or the guy that got sent down was able to go down to hell, and he saw his parish priest, and he says, Father, why are you shoulder deep in lava? He says, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of the bishops. These are not literal. And taking these things of a mixture of things of the desert fathers and the early church fathers, and mishmash the philokalia with the extra stuff, and then boom, we get this whole sorted thing of the toll houses, which I have never heard the toll houses mentioned in the liturgy, in an Orthodox funeral, and it's not there. Where does the catechism of the Catholic Church, the true Catholic Church, the Eastern Orthodox Church, lie? Not in a single book. It is in the hymns and everything that is said throughout one liturgical year, and you're not going to find toll houses there. You'll find the adoration of icons, you'll find the creed, you'll find the decisions and the actions of every council, basically, the ones that we still hold to, because guess what? There are parts of almost every council that we don't hold to. Chalcedon went back on some of the stuff that was decided at Nicaea. So I don't have a problem with old calendarists. I don't have a problem with old believers when you have groups like Rocor and then Roac, the catacombs. That pisses me off. Where I had the bishop that's in northern Indiana say you cannot go to your grandmother's funeral. She's a Catholic. Well, I'm not receiving the Eucharist there. I have to go. What about honor thy mother and father, that type of thing? So, I mean, if you're talking about ROAC and the factions of ROCOR, and I don't think ROCOR should have been admitted in just wholly. I think it should have had to merge back with the Russian Orthodox Church, and I think it should have scoured out all the crazy shit that it picked up along the way because it wasn't being overseen by anybody. Now, that doesn't mean that they weren't right to flee from the Bolshevik communist infiltrated Moscow. That's what the OCA did. That's what the Antiochians did and the Greeks did in the United States. They said, okay, we're going to listen to Tikhon. After him, we cut all ties. Because remember, North America, and I mean all of North America, even Mexico, was under jurisdiction of Russia. And that's why St. Raphael of Brooklyn, who was an Arab, was brought over to minister to the Arab-speaking Orthodox. And Tikhon, John of Chicago, I believe, had other people brought over, as well as Tikhon, who was overseeing it, had Greek speakers brought over. So
I'm recording this on
somebody
phone.
Says the creed, without the legal quite. But confesses belief in baptism and the saints. I don't have a problem with them. They're my brother in Orthodoxy. But when they want to schism for arbitrary reasons, or say like as ROCOR did, that baby that was baptized the day after the Bolsheviks took power, even though it was baptized in Damascus, in 1918, that it's all illegitimate. That is Pelagianism. That is. I mean that.
I don't mean Pelagianism.
That's not accepting the fact that the church is made up of human beings and that there are evil bishops. Nestorius was the bishop of the bishop of Constantinople.
I meant Docetism, not Pelagianism.
What's his name? The denier of the deity of Christ, the chief denier of the deity of Christ. What was his name? Paul Samosata, legitimate bishop of Antioch, successor to Peter, a successor to Peter. And Rome has had a bunch of evil bishops, right? And Alexandria had some bishops that went straight to monophysitism, not just Miaphysitism, Monophysitism. All right, peace to you. So that's my answer. I'd have to learn more about it if that helps you.
And you know what? I'll do a video on Bartholomew. Although I think everybody knows my feelings toward Bartholomew. I don't like him at all. But the church is more than the supposed ecumenical patriarchate. I do not call the Bishop of Constantinople ecumenical patriarchate. But, so I'm in agreement with the Russians on that one. But Bartholomew has been, shit, it's like another Athenagoras, right? All right, peace to you.